In today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys how to go 7-0 in the new Women's Day Challenge.
If you're driving 80 miles per hour, how long does it take for you to go 80 miles?
70 hours? 70 hours.
This is going to take place from March 8th all the way to the 13th. And you guys have a maximum of 4 times that you guys can lose. There's a bunch of pins that you guys can get as rewards. Also, you guys will get a special player icon for doing a quest. There's a bunch of maps and a lot of comps I gotta dive into, so without further ado, let's go and hop straight into the video. Alright guys, the first game what I'm going to be talking about is Gem Grab. Now the best comp I think you guys gotta run here is Rico, Surge, and Ash. Rico is going to be a solid brawler on this map because of the sides of the map. You have those bushes on the side of the map along with that little wall there too. Rico is going to be good for keeping enemies out of that area in a nutshell. So I think he's pretty much going to be an automatic pick here. Also, Surge is going to be a huge benefit as well. Surge, you guys know, he's probably one of the best brawlers in the game, and he can basically like counter pretty much every brawler. I doubt you're going to see a lot of sharpshooter long range brawlers, so Surge is going to be super good here as well. He can basically use his super to jump over those walls, jump onto people, and just basically run away with his super. And last but not least, I think Ash is going to be a good pick as well, because with all those bushes, you know, he can basically use his speed gear, get close to people, and he's also probably the best tank in the entire game, so you guys gotta use Ash as well. Ash is pretty much like a solo carry brawler, so if you guys pretty much use him, you guys should be pretty much set here. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for Gem Grab. Let's go and hop into the next map. Alright guys, the next game mode I'm going to be talking about here is Brawl Ball. Now for Brawl Ball, I'm probably going to recommend something similar. I'm going to recommend you guys go Ash, Sam, and Surge. The reason for the double tank is because there are a lot of walls and a lot of bushes, so Ash and Sam being probably one of the best 2 tanks in the entire game, they're going to be your strongest options to run on this map. Also, having Surge is pretty much going to be a safe pick. You can never go wrong with going Surge, because if they do go tanks or something like that, Surge is going to be a good counter to them. Ash and Sam together pretty much is going to be unstoppable. If you really want to, you could go Poco instead of Surge, so you can have the Poco double tank. But yeah, there's not really much else to say. Use the walls if you're playing a tank. Use the walls to basically maneuver your way around, get close to people. And of course, with this many walls on the map, if you throw your Ash knuckle dusters against those walls, you can basically get it back a lot quicker. But I think having all these bushes is going to be a huge advantage for those tanks. And of course, Surge, same thing with kind of like Gem Grab. You can counter tanks, you can jump onto people, you can jump over walls, so Surge is going to be a safe pick all around here. Alright guys, that's pretty much all I got for Brawl Ball. Let's go and hop into the next game mode. Alright guys, the next game mode I'm going to be talking about here is Knockout. Alright guys, the comp I think you should use on Knockout is Tick, Gray, and Fang. I know this is kind of a bizarre comp, but stick with me on this one. Tick is going to be one of probably the best throwers. You can either go Tick or Grom, honestly, but you need a throw on this map because these walls are going to be pretty crucial for a thrower to hide behind them. Especially with unbreakable walls, I think a thrower, whichever thrower that you do choose, is going to be a solid pick here. Now the reason for Gray, and I kind of seen this in the championship challenge, Gray is going to be a good pick here in Knockout. Like Gray, he's still going to be not as great because of his nerf to his super, but he's going to be a good long range brawler. They changed his projectile, so I think it's going to be a little bit easier to hit. And yeah, basically if they are playing throwers, for example, you could use Gray's TP to basically help you out. Also, if they do for some reason play an aggro like a Leon or something, you can use your TP and get away. And the Fang is going to make this comp even better, because if they do go an aggressive assassin like a Leon or a Mortis, something like that, to try and counter throwers, then Fang will be a good counter to those assassins. And if you combine Fang with the Gray TP, you can basically get close to anybody and you can take them out. So I think all around that this is a pretty safe comp that you guys gotta run here. But you guys know Knockout, pretty much just try and stay alive, get a pick, get that advantage 3v2, and just try and work your way to getting a full team pinch. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for Knockout. Let's go and hop into the next game mode. Alright guys, the next game mode we're gonna be talking about here is Bounty. Now the comp I gotta recommend to you guys here is going to be Rico, Tick, and Piper. Rico is going to be good to stay on the right hand lane because you can hide in those bushes, stay behind that wall, and bounce your shot off the right wall into like where the other wall is. So it's pretty much going to be a safe pick, you know, and nobody's going to really be able to fight you on that Rico lane unless you're facing a thrower. So I definitely recommend, if you do face a thrower when you're playing Rico, swap lanes. Now the reason for Tick is there's still going to be those unbreakable walls, and I think Tick is still going to be a good option here. Like I said, you don't have to go Tick, you can go Grom or Sprout, whatever you feel more comfortable with. Those are good throwers as well. And last but not least, having Piper in the mid. Piper is going to be such a more meta brawler, especially with this new Power League Piper skin. So a lot of people are probably going to be playing Piper. And you know, Piper with the ambush, and you have those bushes in the middle, so she's going to be able to do that extra damage. But yeah, Bounty, you guys know, make sure you guys are getting more kills than actually dying. And hopefully you guys are playing, you know, with teammates, so you know you're not feeding stars to anybody. That's the most important thing. But yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say for Bounty. Let's go ahead and hop into the next game mode. Alright guys, the next game mode I'm gonna be talking about here is Heist. The best comp I gotta recommend for you guys here is gonna be Daryl, Colette, and Griff. Now Griff is gonna play a very important role in this map, because if you see in front of the safe, there's a wall there. So Griff's gadget is going to be able to break that wall, and Colette and Daryl are going to have a much easier time getting to the safe, even Griff himself. But also Griff is a solid DPS brawler. He can do a lot of damage because I feel like you guys are probably going to be seeing a lot of tanks since there are those bushes in the middle. So you definitely got to watch out for that. And that's also why I recommend playing Colette. Colette is probably one of the best anti-tank brawlers besides like B, but Colette is probably a safer option and she's going to do more damage to the safe. So yeah, make sure once you guys do get your super, you guys are using it onto the safe because that's a solid 10% that you guys can do onto the safe with one super. And of course with Daryl, you guys know with his rolling reload star power, he can do a ton of damage as well. So as long as Griff is basically breaking down the walls, Colette's taking care of the tanks, Daryl can just basically, you know, charge his super on his own, or, you know, just chip off other people, and he can go ahead and roll onto that safe and deal heavy loads of damage. I think that overall this comp is going to be pretty safe because you do have the anti-tank option, you have a solid damage dealer, and of course you have another anti-tank brawler, but you know, somebody that can break walls, and that's going to be super important here. If you are facing more tanks, you can try and use Griff's other gadgets to try and open up the map even more. I know there's a lot of unbreakable walls, but try and break the walls that are going to be more beneficial to your team and your comp. But alright, that's pretty much it for Heist. Let's go ahead and hop into the next game mode. Alright guys, the next game mode I'm going to be talking about here is Hot Zone. The best comp I gotta recommend for you guys to run here is Ash, Surge, and Sandy. Since there are a lot of walls and bushes on this map, I think Ash is going to benefit yet again, kind of like Gem Grab. You have those bushes, you have those walls, he can maneuver his way around, he can have his speed gear, he can get up and close and personal, and he can take out pretty much any other brawler in the game. And of course, having Surge, kind of the same thing. You have those walls and bushes to hide behind, and you can basically do a ton of damage as well, as long as you can get staged up. So Surge and Ash are probably your safer picks to run on this map. Now Sandy, I know Sandy may not be the best anti-tank brawler if you guys do face tanks. Sandy will probably be the most supportive brawler for like Ash, especially because if you can get your super, place that sandstorm over the hot zone, your team is gonna have so much control. And it's crazy in hot zone how much pressure a Sandy super can cause to the enemy team. It's more than you guys can imagine. So imagine giving that invisibility pretty much to like Sandy, Surge, and an Ash. They're gonna have so much pressure, the enemy team is gonna be afraid, and as long as you can use that Sandy super at the right time, regain control as a team, if you guys do lose it, you guys are gonna be looking good to go, and it's gonna be a pretty free win for you guys. But alright, that's pretty much all I got for Hot Zone. Let's hop into the last game mode. Alright guys, the last game mode I'm gonna be talking about here is Basketball. Alright guys, the best comp I gotta recommend for you guys here is B, Colette, and Gale. Now you guys can probably already imagine why Colette is good. She's probably one of the best brawlers, in fact, because you have that push it star power. You can make people drop the ball, and it's pretty easy to chain on a map that's this open and a game mode where you're so close to the enemies. Gale as well, Gale's super can basically stun your enemies against the wall, and honestly they made the maps a lot smaller, so it should be easier to try and stun your enemies onto walls, but of course making them drop the ball with the super as well. That's why Gale is such a solid pick here. And last but not least, having B, you have that long range, and also she's probably one of the best anti-tank brawlers in the game. You guys should actually go check out my top 5 brawlers from March. I'll talk about B in that video. Check that out, link in the description, or you guys can check it out up here. But anyway, B is such a solid brawler. You know, she has the long range, she can do a ton of DPS, and she can slow people down. So I think that she's definitely one of the safest picks on a map that's kind of open but not really at the same time. It's kind of odd. I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, Basketball is pretty self-explanatory. You have the tools, you have the best long-range brawler on open maps, and of course you have two very solid basketball brawlers that are just going to basically be able to make people drop the ball, and they can still do a lot of damage as well. But anyway guys, that's going to conclude today's guide. I wish you guys the best of luck, and remember, try to use the looking for a team feature. But anyway guys, if you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure to go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure to also go ahead and turn on post notifications. Make sure to go down in the description below, follow me on my social medias, join my Discord, and subscribe to the second channel. Also make sure to go ahead and follow me on Twitch. But yeah guys, I think that's all I got for now. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I love all of you guys. Thank you so much for all the support, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Flashing